The self-help industry has sold you a dangerous lie that reading these equals more success. I built a $30 million business while most well-read entrepreneurs are drowning in theory and still broke. Here's the truth nobody's telling you. The most successful people I know use books very differently than you. They're too busy implementing and executing while the average person is highlighting passages and feeling productive. In the next 6 minutes, I'll show you why your reading habits is actually keeping you poor. The exact framework I use to extract millions from real-world action instead of pages, and how to build wealth through execution instead of consumption. But if you can't invest even 6 minutes to understand why your bookshelf is keeping you broke, you're proving exactly why you need this message. Make this full screen, let's kill your reading addiction and build real wealth. Consuming information creates the illusion of progress while stealing time from actual execution. I encounter entrepreneur after entrepreneur that thinks reading and studying is going to make them rich. I've personally seen entrepreneurs spend hours a day learning while broke. You see, information without implementation is just noise. Intaking more information daily is not going to get you to where you need to be. The knowledge execution trap works like this. Reading activates the same dopamine pathways as actual achievement, creating a false sense of progress. Your brain can't distinguish between learning about success and actually achieving it. So each hour spent consuming is an hour not producing. And most crucially, execution reveals exactly what you need to learn in a way that passive consumption never can. Harvard Business Review found that 76% of entrepreneurs who consume more than 5 business books annually were in the bottom quarter of income earners in their field. When you understand the knowledge execution trap, you'll stop substituting reading for action. But there's an even deeper problem with how most people approach learning. Aligning your learning style with your natural wiring is worth more than all the books in the world. I've generated over $30 million by taking advantage of my learning style. I'm a visual learner. Watching YouTube videos or having somebody teach me face-to-face is how I've learned everything that I know today. Whether it was macronutrients and creating fitness programs for people online, or how to post on social media to create the followings that we have today, I learned through trying, failing, and being taught by somebody face-to-face. My $1 million learning style framework has 3 components. The first is recognition. Identify how you naturally absorb information, visually, auditorily, or kinesthetically. The second is alignment. Restructure your learning to match this style. And the third is application. Create immediate execution opportunities after learning. Most people force themselves into learning methods that fight against their natural wiring, creating frustration and poor retention. I want you to identify your dominant learning style. Then replace 80% of your reading with that style. That looks like videos for visual, podcasts for auditorial, and hands-on for kinesthetic. Aligning your learning style creates exponentially better results with less friction. But to truly build wealth, you need to understand what actually creates results. The people who get rich aren't the ones who know the most, they are the ones who implement the fastest. When myself and my business partner first started our business coaching company, we were doing 12-week sprint masterminds for $5,000. When COVID hit, we knew that our clientele would not be able to invest in that amount. So we undercut all competitors on the market by 90% and launched a 12-month mastermind. We ideated it, created it, and launched it in less than 7 days, selling over 76 students and now growing it to over 2,000. We are now the #1 business coaching company for personal trainers because we implemented incredibly fast. The implementation edge has 3 components: speed, how quickly you move from knowledge to action; feedback, how rapidly you collect data on what's working; and iteration, how efficiently you improve based off of results. The wealth gap isn't knowledge, it's implementation. Everyone has access to roughly the same information. The rich just apply it faster. Even Thomas Edison said, "Vision without execution is hallucination." Developing the implementation edge transforms potential into actual results. But there's a critical element most people miss. What you exclude from your implementation inputs is more important than what you include. Most entrepreneurs fail because they struggle with shiny object syndrome. They don't understand how to intake information that helps them and discard the rest. I don't listen to most information out there. I know what I need to do, so instead of taking in more info from mentors or YouTube, I focus on what I need to do and disregard the rest. The information diet principle has 4 components: elimination, cut all passive consumption ruthlessly; curation, select only the highest leverage knowledge sources; absorption, choose formats that match your learning style; and application, create a 10-to-1 ratio of execution to consumption. Most entrepreneurs consume 15 to 20 hours of content weekly, but only implement 1 to 2 hours. This ratio must be inverted for wealth creation. Next time you find yourself sitting down to learn, I want you to stop and go implement, go do. Because implementing a strict information diet creates the mental space required for actual wealth creation. But to make this approach sustainable, sustainable, you need to understand the final principle. A systematic approach to execution is what separates the rich from the well-read. My path to 30 million wasn't through reading. It was through my wealth execution system. I spent weeks learning from very specific people. But unlike most people, I didn't just learn. I documented exactly what they did, created implementation templates, and executed immediately. While others were still reading theory, I was banking real money from applied knowledge. The wealth execution system has 5 steps. Extract, template, execute, measure, and optimize. Extracting is pulling only actionable principles from any learning. Templating is creating a specific implementation plan. Execution is applying the knowledge within 24 hours. Measuring is tracking the specific outcomes. And optimizing is adjusting based on real-world feedback. This system ensures everything you learn directly converts to revenue rather than just mental clutter. A Stanford study found that entrepreneurs who implemented a structured execution system outperformed their peers by 337%, regardless of how much industry knowledge they possessed. I want you to create an execution tracker for everything you learn. Then establish a 24-hour rule where you must implement within 24 hours of learning. From there, build a results library documenting outcomes of each implementation. Then review weekly to double down on what's working. The wealth execution system transforms how you approach learning, from passive consumption to active wealth creation. Watch this video next where I talk about the 5 levels of mastery.